Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nicole from Perfectly Imperfect Planning, and today we are going to be setting up my planner for March. I am not using the subscription box necessarily, not all of the things from the subscription box that I got the other day from Jane's Agenda. If you haven't seen that unboxing, I will link it down below. But I'm kind of using a mixture of new and old, so you have probably seen this cover for a while now. I love this cover. I keep returning back to this cover because it's just so elegant and so just romantic and simple, and it just goes with everything, and I want to use it. The March cover in the subscription box was an archives cover, which I don't want to use that for my actual cover for a planner. I'm going to use that to organize all my previous planners that I have on my bookshelf. I might make one big one and just call it archives. I might start pulling out of the older planners some of the pages I want to keep, and then get rid of the ones that I don't need anymore. But I have been going back to those planners time and time again, so I don't necessarily want to get rid of everything. But this planner was from the January 2024 box, and I just keep going back to it. Now, these two items are from the current March box. This is what we got the other day. Again, check it out in my unboxing. And I just really like how these look. March marks the beginning of spring, and although in upstate New York, spring doesn't really come until later, but I just liked how I love this script font. And with this cover, I think it looks so good. I was on the fence about what discs to use, but I'm really happy I chose the chocolate discs with this. I think it makes the brown really pop out in here. So I have already put together on the side some of pretty much my planner and how it's going to be set up. Rather than me pulling from my current planner and you guys hearing it and the constant pulling of the pages, although I know some people like that, but I figured just to make this go a little faster, I would have it pre-put together already, and we would flip through the pages. So I have my word of the year, my goals for the year, my table of contents, which I don't really necessarily need, but I keep it in here. Next up is my inbox tab. So if you don't know how I set up my planner, I love side divider tabs. Those are my main tabs. And then any top tabs are sub topics in that section. This is the dashboard, the cover dashboard from the March box. So I am using some of this stuff. I'm not using all of it, but I am using some of it. And I just like this because it's a blueprint, and my inbox is kind of like, if you think about it, your inbox is kind of your blueprint for your planner. It's kind of like everything out of your head. It's kind of like a brain dump, anything that's incoming. And then we have the Get Things Done page, which is just a reference sheet in my planner. And these task sheets were some paper that we got in previous boxes. I love these for my inbox section because I can check things off. And then we get to my calendar page, which is not changing too much. Now, if you see my dividers with a bunch of scribble marks on them, My toddler has been getting into my planner, and he is getting into pens and markers and has decided that mommy's planner is the place to scribble. But she's not necessarily wrong, but I'm finding random marks on random pages in my planner, so I know when he gets into my planner, which is, it's fine. It's kind of funny, but you can see it a little bit here. It's not horrible. It just little surprises. I can always get new dividers, not a big deal. Next is my overview section. As we do this video, my toddler is currently at his grandmother's house with my husband, so I have the house to myself to film. So my yearly overview is just that. It's the place to put all upcoming appointments. Oh, I already grabbed the vellum that goes in the next part. So this is where my schedule comes in. This is the cover dashboard from the March box as well. As you can see, the blueprints on the back. So I'm going to end up moving this dashboard to my work planner after March, but I just thought it went really well with the March divider vellum that I had, which mentions art, so why not put it together? I thought that was really perfect timing, if you will. And then I have my monthly inserts and weekly inserts, which I print out myself. So I have a pre-planning sheet, which I will do a little later. I have my goals for the month, which I will maybe do on camera. I haven't decided yet on how I am going to do that. I then have my monthly sheets, which I have to do, and then my weekly sheets, which if you've been following me, you know that I've been really loving this setup for my weekly. Next is what I call the Girl Boss section. This is where I plan out my YouTube videos, and I just love this dashboard. Perfect for work. I've debated about switching things out and putting this in my work planner, but I just can't. I love how this looks. And then we have I just put my logo sheet in the front, just as a little decor. I then have yearly overview sheets, which is where I put the videos that actually get posted, so I can see how consistent I've been every month. And each sheet is a quarter. And then I have my subscription tracker. This is an annual habit sheet that we got in a previous box, and I use it for specifically that, tracking subscriptions. Next is a month on one page sheet, which I'm not showing because I've already planned out my March videos. And then I have content sheets. This is how I plan out my content. I create these weekly worksheets so I can write down any to-dos I have for the YouTube channel, my current week schedule, all the videos I want to film for the week, and then after I film them, they get moved down here, and then I have this task manager system, if you will. So once I film, have I edited? Have I uploaded it? Did I do my thumbnail? Have I actually posted it? Did I do an Instagram post for it? And is it completely done? So that has been really helpful. I love this checklist because especially after I film it, sometimes I'll decide to rearrange my calendar and I'll edit one video before another, not necessarily in order. So it's nice to keep this so I know what videos I have edited and uploaded versus others that are still waiting to be edited. So I gave myself 4 sheets for each week of the month, and then I have some content planners sheet in here. I am actually just going to stick these in the back here. They're already filled out, so I don't want to show them. This year I have put projects section in here. I had mentioned at the beginning of the year that I have a lot of big goals for the year. I'm just gonna stick this in because this is already filled out, but I do have an empty one. But I just have these project sheets so that I can fill out what I need to. Looks like my son got into this page. Next is my book section, which is a mix of my book blog and my reading tracker. Some reading trackers. I have a separate reading tracker planner set up, which I did at the beginning of the year. And I only keep certain pages in here, so let's just throw them in here so I can, and then I can go through them. I think we got all the pages I want to get in here. I don't know if this is too thick or if it's going to go in. Sometimes I push how many pages I can get on a disc. So I just have my logo for the blog, and then we have my yearly overview sheets, which I have not updated, and then my March blog task. So pretty much on this sheet, I write down my TBR, other books that I'm going to end up reading, a weekly post that I do, like all the themes for each week, and then anything. I keep track of my reading challenges that I have going on. March is already kind of scheduled out, so we'll just cover that up. But again, I have another weekly worksheet here where similar to the YouTube one, but here I have to draft my schedule for the week, any Instagram photos that I need to take, and then again, anything that's drafted goes down here so I can find out if I've drafted, edited, do I need to take a photo for it, a thumbnail. Actually, I don't need a thumb. Oh, well, I need a thumbnail for Instagram, maybe. Did I do the post? Instagram. Did I post it Instagram? And then done. So, and then I actually recreated these sheets, but I want to use these up because I already printed them. And then I have my reading log. As you can see, my toddler has gotten into this, of all the books currently that I've read for the year, and still reading. I have read that one. I didn't fill it in. And then there's some that are still ongoing. My purchase log. I'm doing really good about not purchasing books this year. I've only bought one. I have some review sheets for if I'm out and I need to review any books that I've read. And then we have my personal section, which is currently misaligned. I don't know if I can get it on the pages. All right. This has been a staple in my planner forever, so it's probably familiar. It's just this girl. And then I have just some motivational quote cards for myself. I have a self-care just checklist of basic self-care things. A little vellum sheet. And then we have these sheets, which have been really helpful. So these we got in a Jane's Agenda pack. Check. You can circle the month. You have your cycle, any supplements or I use it for medications I take, hours of sleep, which I have an app for, mood, energy. I'm actually changing mood to stress level. I recently found out that I kind of knew that I was stressed out. I just didn't realize how much I was stressed out. And then some extra things I want to track. So my health this year is very important. So I've been tracking that. On here is a daily weight tracker. So I've been trying to weigh myself every day. and then food that I've been tracking, which has been really helping me, especially because one of my goals this year is to stop eating gluten, because I do have a thyroid condition, which is kind of really messing me up in terms of I cannot eat gluten anymore. Next is my budget section, which is also staying the same. I just love this look. It is just a vellum of a girl. It's the train. And then I have just a quote card, I dare you to invest in yourself. I just liked that the word invest was in here and that it just tied into budget. So I put it in there. Then we have my budget sheets from Jane's Agenda. This is a debt tracker. And then I have my bill tracker for the month. And it looks like my toddler has gotten into these pages as well. And then my sheets for the month, which I am going to put in here. So I have my month where I outline all the bills. And then I have a monthly financial audit from Jane's Agenda, though I don't necessarily use it. And then paycheck budget sheets. And then these are the bi-weekly sheets that I use. All the bills, all my variable expenses, all my long-term savings. I've been really trying to get back into cash envelope system. My debt and what I'm paying off that week or for that paycheck and any savings. And then on the back is an expense sheet so I can track what I'm spending and in what category. Then we have my home section, which is also not changing. You know, it's like funny, you find dashboards that just fit the section and you just leave them in there. The vellum was from a Thanksgiving box this past year. And this dashboard was just a random dashboard that Jane had, and I bought it, and I just think it fits. I am adding the spring readiness dashboard in here. This is a seasonal dashboard that since spring is this month, I figured I better put this in here so I can see what I need to check up. I am on vacation in the next week, so it should be nice to like really start the spring cleaning jazz. And speaking of, I have all these cleaning dashboards, which you have probably seen plenty of times. I'm sorry about the lighting. I'm realizing that like shadows of my camera are like everywhere and it's bugging me. So, but we are committed at this point. Meal planning. Looks like my toddler got into this divider as well. I'm wondering if I could probably take an alcohol wipe and just wipe that down. Probably will come off. It's just pen. This is from the March box, these pears. I'm loving how these look. And then I just have some meal planning. I keep some half sheets in here for if I want to do a random grocery list. I can move these to my current week in front of my planner if I want. So I can just do a running grocery list. And then if I have any plans for the month in terms of meal planning, I have these sheets right here. So week 1, everything I'm buying for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Week 2, and then I just have some random recipes in here that I wrote down. I found what looked like a really good gluten-free bagel recipe. I have some family favorites, items to keep on hand, pantry inventory, which looks like my toddler is going to town on. It's fine. Okay. Finally, we have I only have 2 more sections left. So we have my reference section, which is new. I'm throwing in this vellum dashboard about being organized, and with this these two were both from the March box last year. This is almost my dashboard for the front cover, but with the landscape dashboard we got in this box, I decided to change it out. But I wanted it still in here, so it is here. And then I threw in the vault pages from Jean's Agenda box, which came in March. And it's basically all these perfect home reference sheets and vehicle reference and clothing sizes for your planner. And then I have my notes and things, which is a bottom tab. Keep it right in the back. This is where all my note paper goes. I'm using the horse that came in this box because I thought it was so pretty. And then I have more tip-in sheets and random notebook paper. So let's see. Not all of them are lining up, so I'm trying to... We got these pages that are like Cornell notes in the Jeans box. And then we have these note paper that I've been really liking. And then we have this note paper. So, and then finally we have this little pouch that I actually really love having in my planner. I didn't think I would. So that is what she looks like there. I really like how she looks. I'm glad I went with the brown discs. I think it really makes it pop. I was on the fence about what discs I was going to use. Wow, I cannot get my words out when I am multitasking. I am pulling out the Nori Green wrap from Jean's Agenda. This is a Saffiano green leather, wrap. I need to wipe her down a little bit, but I love her. She's just such a great neutral. And then I pulled out some quote cards that I had previously. We had this March one from last year, which I just thought went really well. Give yourself some grace. We are nearing the end of the quarter, and at this point, I am getting to where I feel like I have not done what I need to do. Not necessarily everything I planned to do for the quarter, so I'm telling myself that I'm allowed to not get everything done. The Art of Living, just because we have some of those art ones, and it's such a good neutral, and then just a March little dashboard. So I thought that was really, really cute, and that is going to be my setup for the month. And then I do want to do this month over here, so let's grab my monthly dashboard, and then I am missing my stainless glass like hybrid dashboards. I don't know where it went. I'll find it. I could potentially use the one from last month, but it's a little bright and I don't want to use it right now, so I'm going to hold off on putting it in there. And then I use for Girl Boss, I use this to mark where I'm at. So actually, let me put it right here for March. And then we have in my personal, I stick this in where my personal. I try to have like a page finder for all the sections so I can just pull what I need to. If anything, I have a bottom tab for my this week. I could put this. Let's see. Let's do that. I don't necessarily need a I don't necessarily need the hybrid. And I did this so I can flip it from the bottom so I can just grab it and flip it. Right, I think that's it. Let's just do a quick flip through. So if we open this up, we have this right here, which is really, really pretty. And then we have my cover. We have my inbox. I feel like that's a little plain. I might try to find a vellum to go right there. I have a hold on to your vision one that I might put there, but we'll see. We have my calendar, which also has, let's see, my schedule right there. Then we go to Girl Boss, go to Book Babe, personal, budget, home, meal plan, which I love those pairs, and reference. And finally, notes and things. Perfect. I might actually put this vellum in the front in my inbox. Let's see. And my husband just texted that they're on their way back, so glad that we are wrapping this video up. So I don't have, actually I really like that. I might leave that there. That's perfect. All right, I think that's going to be it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not already done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Till next time.